As representatives of Upsilon Pi Epsilon, my colleagues and I are here to present this year's Abacus Award, UPE's most prestigious award, to an individual who has gained international renown in the computing profession and over a period of many years has provided extensive support and leadership for student-related activities in the computing and information disciplines. As a pillar among his peers, serving over 40 years in the ICPC in a host of capacities ranging from contest judge, chief judge, associate contact director, and more, Dr. James Comer is best known for his longtime service as Director of Regional Contests. In this capacity, Dr. Comer has ultimate responsibility for coordinating all activities for worldwide regional contests extending over 6 continents, as thousands of students ultimately compete for but a few treasured programming team slots in the annual World's Finals. It is sustained superior performance over many years that distinguishes Dr. Comer. His contributions as a computer science professor and department chair at his home university, plus his lifelong dedication to teaching excellence and the World Finals, reflect great credit upon not only himself, but his home institution, Texas Christian University, the thousands of students he has instructed over the years, and the countless number of UPE chapters he has personally inducted, and his outstanding contributions to our annual World's Finals. Thus, it is with great pleasure that on behalf of Upsilon Pi Epsilon, we are so honored to present the 2014 Abacus Award to our brother in computing, our colleague in teaching, and simply the consummate computing professional. James, you are so very worthy of this year's UPE Outstanding Recognition. James?
Wow. This is a This is a real special day for me. I even went into my closet and dug out my lucky tie. I think I'm going to do it more often because I heard one of the lovely ladies in the room say that it made me look like hot stuff. It's a Tabasco tie, okay? Thank you, Bob, Angela, and Orlando and Bill. And I'd also like to say thank you to the other members of the UPE Executive Council for recognizing me with the Abacus Award. Your friendship and support shown me over the years has meant the world for me. My memory isn't what it used to be, and I know I'm going to get even more emotional than I am right now. So I'm going to read from some words that I've written down, especially because I'm going to say some nice things about some people that I don't normally say nice things about. As Bob mentioned, the Abacus Award is the highest award given by UPE. Its purpose is to recognize individuals who've gained renown in the profession and also have a record of outstanding contributions to computer science education. I'm not sure about the renown part in my case, and I certainly haven't made the same level of contributions as some of the other recipients, Don Knuth, Alan Kay, Bjorn Sustrup, etc. But to be counted among the recipients of this award for contributions to computer science education is to be included among some excellent company. Some other recipients of this award in the hall today include Marcia and Bill Poucher and Brenda Chow. I think they're sitting around out there. People that you all know very well. Never in my life did I ever dream or indeed hope that my service to UPE and the ICPC would be recognized with this reward. Those of you know me that I know that I'm seldom at a loss for words. That's not true today. That's why I wrote some things down. What I'd like to do is to carry you through a brief history of how I learned about UPE and how I got involved in the programming contest. My first knowledge about UPE came in 1972. I was a new faculty member in the Industrial Engineering Department at Lamar University in Southeast Texas. As a part of that faculty in 1973, I submitted an application to the UPE Executive Council to establish a new chapter. At the time, I was the only faculty member teaching computer science at Lamar. Like many of the other faculty members in the audience today, I had a pretty heavy teaching load back then. My teaching load included courses in COBOL, Fortran, assembler language, data structures, operating systems, compilers, database, simulation, numerical methods, and linear programming. I was assigned linear programming, which was an industrial engineering course because it had the word programming in the title. Needless to say, UPE was unimpressed by the application I submitted, and it was quickly dismissed. And needless to say, I was disappointed, and so were my students. The cause, too few faculty members teaching computer science. I thought to myself, how in the world could UPE possibly question the quality of our program based on faculty size? One faculty member seemed to be enough. After all, I was teaching everything. So what did I do next? Well, it turned out that there was an event that was scheduled at Texas A&M University the following year in 1974. Texas A&M was hosting, of all things, a social event designed for computer science students. It was a programming contest. It turned out that UPE in the early 1970s had designed a fun event for the computer science department students. I believe that was the first programming contest ever offered anywhere in the world. In 1974, it was a small, fun, social event that was just beginning to gain momentum. That contest, after just a couple of years, evolved into the ACM South Central Regional Programming Contest and drew students from Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. It was from those early 1970 roots that the contest today has grown into the International Collegiate Programming Contest. So in 1974, I decided to take a road trip to College Station, Texas, to compete in a programming contest. I assembled a team of students at Lamar, and off we went down the road. This was that team. You might recognize the individual second from the left. That was when I still had some pigmentation in my hair. Well, you might also know that UPE was founded in 1967, also at Texas A&M, by a really remarkable group of faculty members and students. So my thinking was, well, a trip to Texas A&M might give me a unique opportunity to find something, do something fun with programming, but also to learn something more about UPE and what we might be able to do to get a chapter at Lamar. A variety of things happened to change my life during that trip in 1974. I met Dr. Dan Drew, who was the faculty member at Texas A&M, who was responsible for founding UPE. So I learned an awful lot about UPE and what its mission was and really what its goal was. Dr. Drew convinced me to come to Texas A&M to pursue my PhD, and he later served as my major professor. I also learned on that trip that programming contests could be a heck of a lot of fun. So in 1975, I moved to Texas A&M to pursue my PhD. You might wonder why I was so late. Well, I spent 4 years in the U.S. Navy floating around on an aircraft carrier in the North Atlantic. The following year, in 1976, I was inducted into the UPE chapter at Texas A&M, was elected president, and ultimately I was elected to the International Executive Council in 1980. During my time at Texas A&M, I also served as a student chair of the programming contest. More importantly, it was during those years at Texas A&M that I met my wonderful wife. So I left A&M in 1978, 79, and I traveled to the University of Texas at Arlington, and the South Central Regional Programming Contest traveled with me. And the rest is just a lot of history. During all these intervening years since 1974, I've held practically every post within the UPE Executive Council, some multiple times, and also within the ICPC. As Bob enumerated, I've been a coach, I've been a co-RCD, I've been an RCD, I've been a judge, I've been a finals director, the associate director, and director of regional contests. Pretty much every position save one, and that's the job I wouldn't have if you paid me. And that's the one held my special friend, Bill Poucher. During these 40 years, I've seen UPE grow from less than 40 chapters to, I think we have around 275 internationally today. And I've seen the programming contest grow from about 20 teams at Texas A&M during my first contest to the 122 international ones competing here today. Who would have ever dreamed? It took a really young person such as Bill Poucher, someone with a lot of drive and dedication, in order to bring it to here, to where we are today. It's been an incredible trip, one that I'm able to say that I'm happy that I was able to make a small contribution to. And I count my blessings for having been able to do it. I've often said that I've had 3 significant loves in my life. My beautiful family, my wife, Margene, and my children, Jonathan, who's here today, and 3 wonderful girls back home. But also I would include UPE and ICPC in that. My love affairs with UPE and ICPC has grown to the point that my wife says the two are now integrally woven into my DNA, and I'll carry them to my grave. I have to admit that I am immensely proud of both organizations and what they've achieved over the years. I've always liked the words of wisdom, I think spoken by George Washington Carver, who said, No individual has any right to come into the world and go out of it without leaving behind him distinct and legitimate reasons for having passed through it. That's what I've tried to do through my association with the UPE and the ICPC. I hope I've been successful. So after many years of service with the two, I wish to say humbly thank you for allowing me to contribute, to share in the missions, and enjoy the family aspects of the ICPC. It's said sometimes you will never know the value of something until it becomes a memory. I'm happy to say that UPE and the ICPC didn't need to become a memory in order for me to see their value. And I would challenge each person here today to find something historic and worthwhile, as I did many, many years ago, and commit your life to it. Fall in love as I've done. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.